Welcome, everyone. I am Chris Gore. This is a special edition of Hollywood on the Rocks. Today on the show, The Rings of Power Season 2 is here. The first 3 episodes, have you seen them? We'll talk about it. Also, other news stories breaking you may not be aware of. We will get to those. Plus, special guest co-host today, the Angry Badger. He's here. He's waiting in the wings. Let's go. Let's start the show. I'm ready. Let's go. Badger, you're here. There's no Alan.
No. Thank you. I just saw you, man. I just saw you on the Nooner.
I was surreal. On the crazy Nooner. That was wild. That was weird.
I just want to know how you did that costume.
Okay. We'll talk about that. We will. You know what? I'm going to add that.
Very impressive. Hi, everyone. Thank you. If you haven't seen us, obviously on Versus together.
You are so fun on Versus. I love it. I love it. And tell people that don't know you about your channel, what you do. I've seen you on Drinker's Stream, Open Bar, on Versus. I don't even know. I don't remember how we met.
Yeah, we did meet on Drinker's Stream. Thank you.
Yes.
That's recent, but yeah, it's crazy. So basically,
and I remember you were great, and I was like, "Oh, let's get you on Versus,"
which I'm still. Yeah, it's very surreal. Basically, I was someone who was in the culinary industry. I was a chef, got super burnt out, too much drinking, found some sobriety, watched Gary. He was a big influence for like 2019. Finally listened to him, decided to make videos, listened to all the advice everyone said, critical drinker through watching and all that. And then, yeah, one day with around 1,200 subs, I sent an email to Drinker, and he somehow put me on his show, and I've been streaming with Nerd Wars, and the rest is history. Somehow now I stream with my heroes, literally. Thank you, Chris.
I love seeing you pop up on a stream. I love it.
It's crazy.
Love it.
Yeah, it's crazy. Thank you.
I'm going to get this out of the way. I got a note from Alan. Obviously, Alan Ng is not here. You are guest hosting today, and I truly appreciate it. As Alan talked about on last Friday, his wife has a medical issue. I won't give any details. That's for Alan to share. But is this? Hey, Alan. Hey, wife surgery went great. She is recovering. Thanks for all your prayers. See you Friday. Happy birthday month, Chris. Well,
that's
I'm so happy to hear that.
That's the tone for the show.
That's great. That's great. Well, Alan left some stuff here. This is crazy. He left something for me that we're going to play. Glenn is making me do this. Well, this video, I was told to play this video.
Because it's your birthday today.
Well, Alan did a great job here, but if you saw the show on Friday, I was at Dragon Con. I'm going to show a few things from that experience, but this happened Friday night. I can't believe we've got a lot of news stories here. Let's talk about this, Alan.
Okay, so we're not going in order on the talk.
I'm going in order from. Look, let's not. I'm going in order from the things that were in the way it was. Look. All right. Now, turnabout is fair play.
Like trying to compare apples and oranges. Oh, you can edit these things, people. Sean Gunn noted that there is one overarching similarity between Marvel and DC for him that made both working working both much easier and more familiar. God, this guy can't write.
Okay, no, wait. Let me pause you for a second. You don't have to say out loud your internal monologue. You can say, like, you can just read the relevant part without saying, I'm not going to read that. You could just not read that.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I'm saying I'm giving color commentary over.
You've been gored. Well, that's what Alan gets for not being on the show today. But I'm really happy to hear his wife is doing well. So he'll be back to tell us about it.
Absolutely.
Now, Badger, you go to conventions, right?
Yes. Yeah, when I can. I used to go to them a lot because I used to get in for free. But yeah, they're insane. Even the smaller ones, like the mid-tier ones.
I went to Dragon Con. Well, I'm going to show you a couple things, a little show and tell here. I go to Dragon Con every year. I hang out with my buddy Shane Mackey. There's my badge. I collect the badges. It is unlike any convention. Yeah, badges. It's unlike any con you've ever been to. It's a nonstop party for 4 days. There are amazing panels. They have a Tolkien track. They have a Star Trek track of groups of panels. A lot of things, a lot of novelists go there. They do a science track, but everyone dresses in costumes and parties for 4 days and goes to panels. I have never done this before. I got my picture taken with somebody. I'm going to show you my friend Shane and I. This is John Cleese.
Oh, wow.
I got to meet and get a photo with John Cleese. I have never done that. To me, John Cleese is a legend. Watch him in Monty Python since I was a kid.
Nearly Headless Nick, Gryffindor Ghost, Harry Potter.
He's so good.
So many things.
And that part's good. But Faulty Towers. I watched the whole thing. Like, it influenced me so much as a kid. I make references to Monty Python, not knowing I'm doing it. It's embedded in my DNA.
Same.
But yeah, if you want to look at my personal Twitter, or I'm going to post on Instagram, like my adventures, I had some fun. I see
people talking about it. I see a lot of people referencing hanging out with Frank Gore.
Yes.
I know is your alter ego.
If you look at where am I here? No, my personal feed. Where am I here? All right. Right here. There's so many photos, and I'm going to share one unbelievable pics here. That's Galactus. There was so much Dune Part 2 cosplay.
That's a good one.
Which was awesome. The convention moves fast. And there was Dune popcorn bucket cosplay. Like tons of it. And it's a wild con you need to go to. I love that.
Oh, Simpsons. I don't see those much anymore.
More, that's Princess Irulan from Dune Part 2. I mean, I had so much fun taking pics. This is a sandworm cosplay. You can see it blooming in the background. Sandworm cosplay. Unbelievable. It was so I was in heaven from so much Dune stuff.
That room must smell great.
One of the parties they do these all-night parties. They do a rave called Last Night on Alderaan, where it's just a rave that goes until like 5 a.m. I cut myself off, but it's but one of the things I did is
that's great, dude. How did you do that? You just had a super stretchy material?
No, a friend of mine, Jeff Tucker, bought this costume from the archives at Knott's Berry Farm and gave it to me. I was dressed as Mr. Fantastic. So the arms are like 20 feet long. So you can tuck them up in like a glove. I wear gloves, but you can grab the glove and pull the arms.
Okay.
So what I did was, I'll have to find it in my own feed here. Where am I?
Yeah, it just goes to show you the ingenuity of before you threw a couple $100,000 at everything. practical.
Well, it's super cheap, but
It looked good
ask
from
him
when
to buy
I was
us
seeing
live.
it. Look, Mr.
Here
Yeah, there you
is
go.
me. It's an impromptu limbo dancing.
Shout out Razorburn. Says that he's the one pulling your arm there.
So this was I don't know, for some reason you throw a stretched arm, everyone starts limboing.
They
under
understood the
arm.
assignment.
Yeah, it was so much fun. I will make this an annual event wearing this costume and doing limbo. That was at the loft at the Marriott. I didn't have to tell anyone. We just did it. So we'll post a clip from that video.
That hotel seems they understand what's going on.
They know, look, people are just buying drink. But it was super fun. So look at that.
Oh,
That was awesome. Razorburn, hung out with Razorburn, Devon, all these other people that came to the Gore on Horror panel. So that is you can watch that. So
fellowship is strong.
dude, I'm almost convinced Gary to go to Dragon Con. Almost convinced him.
I saw it. It looked like I think that's fun, but that would be so dangerous. I don't know why I sounded Minnesota and all of a sudden, oh no. But yeah, so it's like a dangerous time. But that looks great. Costume, everything.
So thank you to everyone who's given me birthday wishes. It's tomorrow, actually. I'm just saying because other people bring it up. So there you go.
Birthday month. It's your birthday month. Did you get those Godzilla shoes?
What's that?
Did you get those Godzilla shoes? Because if not, maybe for your birthday. Remember you were looking at these Godzilla shoes. They were very nice dress shoes.
I did pre-order them. Expensive, but anyways, thank you so much. Hey, did Dragon Con end with the furry love session? Not for me, that's for sure. Thanks, Alan. Nerdrotic needs to go. Let's go to comments here, but thank you so much. And thank you to everyone at Dragon Con. The staff is great. They invited me to do a panel and I appreciate it. If you would, Badger, and read some of these.
Absolutely. Hi, Sin. She became a member. Shout out. Lovely fellow content creator.
Thank you, Sin. She was awesome. I met her son. I couldn't believe it. I said, "You have a son?"
I know.
It was nuts. Thank you, Sin.
The nerd far away. This is really starting to feel like a bit of a home for me. Silly, I suppose, but there it is. It's not silly at all. Chat feels like home to me every day when it's like, there's all the people I see. A lot of you, I see you. Thank you. Hi. Yeah, not silly at all.
You are always welcome.
English Batchers, welcome. Join us by the fire. Christopher Moonlight Productions, listening in for my drive home. What's positive on the indie sphere?
Really good indie movies coming out later this year. Abruptio, end of September. Look for that movie. There's a movie called Wasp in theaters now. I want to try to see. There's super chats. Okay, let's get through these and get to our other topics.
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. Want to thank Chris and Alan for their review of Strange Darling and for not spoiling anything around it. Saw it this past weekend and loved it.
They gave away VHS tapes at the premiere.
That's
glad you loved it. That's awesome to hear. Thanks. Thank you, D. Good.
Razorburn for 5. Happy birthday, Chris. Had a blast hanging out with you at DragonCon. Hope you enjoy the gift I gave you. Consider it an early birthday gift.
Thank you. Razorburn gave me a board game of Dune that I did not have. I was so just touched by that. Thank you, Razorburn. Appreciate it. It made its way home safe. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Magnum Norse for 10. Badger conventions are insane, especially when the bastard starts going for the money hole. Yeah, Magnum, thank you. Channel lores.
No super chat from Alan, but he does hey, you know what? The gift is Alan lurking in the chat. I was in the chat on Monday for his solo stream. It was amazing. He reviewed Alan reviewed movie theater pizza and then talked about the appearances of his family's restaurant in movies. It was Go Watch versus Monday. It's Alan versus Alan.
Interesting.
So fun. So here's if you would.
Ing the Merciless, sure. Cleese's best role, nearly Headless Nick, the way he delivers those 7 lines over the entire franchise. Basil Fawlty is his best. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Alan, I did mention Fawlty Towers. Yeah, obviously his best role.
See, thanks, Alan.
Nemirovsky for 10. Glad to hear Alan's wife's surgery went well. 10 out of 10. Would party with Frank Gore at Dragon Con again. Y'all are the best.
I'll be there next year. I will be there next year.
Sure. The way you talk about it, I might be there next year. Tulls gifted for 5 Film Threat memberships. Oh, 5. Thank you. 5 members.
I posted something really cool for members only.
5 new people get to see it.
I can't talk about it. I saw Transformers 1.
Oh, the animated. Oh, okay.
Now, here's all I will say. It is the first Transformers movie with no humans.
Which is what we've all been complaining about. We wanted no humans.
It's on Cybertron, and one might describe it as Batman Begins for Optimus Prime. I don't want to give away anything else. I did not expect to love it. I loved it and plan to see it again. And I was at a special screening. They had the director, composer, Lorenzo Di Bonaventura, the producer. They did a huge Q&A after the movie. It's posted for members only. So if you become a member, watch that Q&A, and I'll talk about Transformers when it opens.
I'm more impressed you got that last name out. Lorenzo Bonaventura.
Di Bonaventura.
That just sounds fun to say. Jeff, shout out Sons and Shadows for 2. Your Battle Beyond B-Day gift is going out soon.
Thank you, Sons and Shadows. Hey,
Mom.
Mama Badger.
The Mama Badger. It's not actually a fake account. Glad for Mrs. Ing. Happy birthday to Badger's grandpa. R.I.P. Yes, it is my actual grandfather's. His birthday today. R.I.P. And Chris is tomorrow. I thought for a second she was calling you my grandpa, and I was like, well, that's not fair. Yeah. Yes. Shout out to Chris.
I do think
Grandpa
I'm
Badger.
older than you, though. I gotta say, I think I'm older.
A little bit. 39. So you might have just a little bit over me. Jimmy Francis for 50. Happy birthday, Chris, and happy for Alan's family.
Thank you so much. I'm happy for Alan's family.
Yes. I'm happy that before it even started, we knew everything was good. No clouds.
So I'm so happy to hear that. So
good for them.
Yeah. Now, I have a lot of things to talk about. I'm not sure if you're aware of this. Okay. I need to share something.
Is this not the Grayson fan film back in the day? Of
the Grayson? Are you aware of the Grayson fan film?
Oh my God. You surprised me. I didn't know this was coming. I've been on a kick of showing these old fan films that people don't know exist. Grayson is one of them that is this the one where it takes place after Batman is gone and Dick Grayson has to come back?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I know the director, John Fiorella, at Mr.
Good.
John Fiorella on Twitter. It's been 20 years and Grayson fans are still the best. Rob Butler out of Dallas, Texas, used some fancy software to upscale the Grayson trailer, significantly enhancing the resolution. It was shot in 16 millimeter. I hope you can see past all the duct tape and still enjoy the ride. Let's watch in honor of the 20th anniversary. And by the way, this teaser trailer for this, for what was to be a film called Grayson, influenced, I believe, Zack Snyder. The tone, the look. We're gonna watch it.
There's slow-mo.
There's slow-mo. Look, it's 5 minutes worth every minute. We are going to watch and react to this.
What a treat. Okay.
I am so excited. So
Happy birthday.
Put on my headphones here. Let's watch this. Okay, everyone, be prepared if you've never seen this before. And we'll put all the links in the description.
It's like just a statue that he.
It's hard to believe he's gone. For all his triumphs, I fear that even in death he will find no peace. Nor will those who fought beside him. Still, we must move forward. And
Can you pause it?
except that his crusade has come to an end. For Dick Grayson, it begins again.
What's gotten into you? It's like you're training for a war.
We will find Batman's killers and bring them to justice. And that's all I can say. Cindy. You're making a mess of my plan.
Careful, this kitten still bites.
Well, I see you've done your homework. Now let it go. Your crime-fighting days are over.
I've seen them together. So don't allow them to reconcile.
Don't act like I don't know what you're doing!
Barbara.
I won't be a part of it, Dick. Not again.
Careful. Old heroes bring about old villains.
You need to tell me what you know. I want him out of the equation. Easy, boy. Stay out of this car.
Go to johnfiorilla.com. People are asking if it was featured on G4. Yeah, it was because of me. Okay. This is another video
Which
about
I
how,
remember watching vividly.
anyways, there's a making of. We'll also put this link in the description. You can watch. It's like a half hour about how he made it on 16 millimeter. You should watch it. It's so amazing. The little simple film tricks he used to make this thing.
A lot of the things that you think were like his back car was he just put red electrical tape. The
Right.
mansions, he just randomly walked up to mansions and before security was called on him. The pool is like him just jumping into the pool wrapped in chains and so on. I believe the actor that played the Joker has passed on. So RIP to him. But yeah, that whole thing, that's just an axe handle that they made it seem like as I think that statue, when they zoom in, they molded that with clay. So there was no AI to do this, DK Kong. Yeah. So crazy,
Yeah,
the ingenuity.
Like, for example, when Robin's being shot at with a machine gun, he holds
Firecrackers.
they just put firecrackers and lit them off. So they're like the simple tricks.
His Ducati that he's illegally racing down the freeway and running against traffic. Like, man, when you want your movie made, you do things.
It's simple things that if you're a filmmaker, you have no money. This is what you teach yourself. You teach yourself how to make something great with nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. So I wanted to bring this up because I have watched that trailer 100 times.
Same.
I get chills every time I watch it because at the time this came out 20 years ago, we didn't have the MCU.
Right.
We didn't have the DC films. Nothing. That was it. We had some fan films, and fan films were getting really good, including this one.
Yeah, as people started getting laptops that were able to do things that before you know, just to do that level bad, you would have had to come up with funding that as it kept going and going. But yeah, that and a couple other Sandy Cholera. Obviously, you must be familiar with him and his Batman Dead End and World's Finest. Oh my God, just do that. He's got some great videos out.
Doing those fan films got the studios to sit up and take notice. So they did help. And a lot of people say the tone of Grayson, kind of like what Zack Snyder was going for. He might have been influenced. We'll see. But
it's the Matrix movie or the Matrix music at the end that makes it for me in that Grayson trailer.
I love it. We have a lot of chats, and I have some other news stories till we get to Rings of Power. Let's go through these here. And thank you to everyone for watching, especially Ing the Merciless is watching right now. Alan's watching. Oh, yeah. Lord Thoth message.
Yeah. Shout out Lord Thoth. Like, share, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, sign up as a member, join us on X, Discord, Rumble, and Instagram, and buy our merch at Film Threat. Shop.Film Threat.
Yes, Shop.Film Threat, that store. We have, look at this shirt, this Film Threat shirt. It may have been inspired by a film that's opening tomorrow.
I see it Friday. Friday.
Other logos, my book, Celebrities Poop. It's very, Shop.Film Threat.
Attack of the Dock. I watched that several times. It reminds me of my youth, much like that Grayson, like G4. That was what was going on.
I was trying to capture an era.
You did.
When nerd culture was different.
Yeah. 2000 to 2010 might have been greater than we all really truly realized it. We had the best of both worlds.
We did not realize what you have. What we have.
President Jafar for 2. Anatar, Lord of the Gifts, wishes you a happy B-Day.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Anatar. Robot Dudes became a YouTube member.
Thank you for that.
Zian Hugh for $7.42. That's very specific. Happy birth month, Chris.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
what are the-
Yidis. What are the fan trailers you recommend? Oh, yeah, for sure. Good.
Yeah. You were saying the Sandy Cholera stuff.
100%. Batman Dead
Dead
End. World's Finest. He does also by Sandy Cholera. Yeah, you mentioned Grayson. Some of those, like the Darth Maul.
The Star Wars
trailers.
ones are really good.
But it looks better than anything Zack Snyder put out. Yeah. Yeah. The Nerd Far Away. Oh, okay. I'm not a fan of Batman or most comics, but dang, this actually looks pretty good.
And if you go to johnfiorella.com, he talks about what the story would have been. He had it all laid out. Then he was going to make, you won't believe this, it was a movie where he cast Mark Hamill. He's basically playing an older Luke Skywalker.
Really?
And the script is like The Unforgiven with Luke as an old Jedi in a small town.
Not on an island by himself.
Mark Hamill was signed. He was going to do it. And then the sequels happened and the project went away. But he posted the script.
Well, maybe that'll be turned into something one day with a Sebastian Stan type. Pilgrim Media for $2. What does LA do when you make an illegal movie, rather?
Nothing really. They can't do anything. It's a matter of, can you sell it? People do run and gun production all the time. So
right. So if I make a Batman movie though, and I start renting out theaters, at what point do they start getting litigious?
Yeah,
with
that's
me?
when you're making money. Yeah. It's you can do anything you want. If you're making money, there's going to be a problem.
Right.
But he I tried to sell it. John tried to sell it to Warner's.
Yeah. Magnum Norse for $2. Alan is watching. Oh no, Alan is great. I'm sure he approves of everything. Right? Am I doing good, Alan? Please don't yell at me. Okay.
All right, I have something else to share, and I want to ask a question. So we're going to be watching some videos until we get to Rings of Power. I found this very interesting. Recently, at the Hollywood Bowl, there was an event where they played music from Marvel movies. They do this at the Bowl. They play music. They play a montage of scenes from movies, and it's a live orchestra, the LA Philharmonic. Well, what did they do? This is from John Campia's YouTube channel.
John Campia, I hunted for this theme. You know.
Well, he did hunt. This is the theme. It's the official Fantastic Four theme live from the Marvel's Infinity Saga concert.
So this is the main thing. This is what's supposed to get us going. This is their Superman theme, but this
is the official music for Fantastic Four. Now, why are they doing this now? And why aren't we seeing Captain America music, Thunderbolts music? They really are betting the farm on this movie. I think the music is amazing. I didn't realize when I was in Hall H at Comic-Con, they played it during the event about Fantastic. I didn't realize what I was hearing.
Isn't this from the same guy that does the Batman score, Michael Giordano?
Yes. Giacchino. Okay. Is that it?
Giorgino. I'm horrible with names, so.
But let's look at a little bit of this. I think it's very good. So, but the question is, why are they showing this to us now? Why now? Why are they promoting a movie that the release date is a year off and probably is going to push? Whereas they have Captain America coming out in February, Thunderbolts in May. This is scheduled for July.
You said Captain America, and I thought you meant the older Captain America movies. I totally forgot you meant Sam Wilson, the movie coming out. Yeah. I know what you're saying. Probably because it's going to take a long time to sell us on this.
They leapfrogged and like, okay, we're putting those movies out. Don't look at those.
Mm-hmm.
This movie we want you to pay attention to. So give it a listen. Here we go real quick. I'll mute myself so there's no echo.
The Fantastic Four chant got me.
Honestly, I really like it. I know it's like it has a touch of whimsy. It's sort of a 1960s era
Definitely.
feel. It has like some I don't know. It's subtle.
Do you think they
but
were trying to evoke space, like space in
Yes.
the beginning, and then it gets sort of
Yes.
creepy, and that's the accent? So I got all that maybe it's trying to tell the story in the beginning. I like
Yep.
there's a central theme somewhere in there towards like the end that if they ramp that up, I could hear it. But that
Yeah,
as it was did not fill me with fantastic. You and your
No,
costume filled me with more Fantastic
Right.
Four energy.
Look, I like it. It's subtle. It's I don't know. I'm digging it. So and there was a little touches of. Did you hear at the beginning? There was a voice of like
Radio?
There was like
Yes.
radio. It's like to a tower, to a spaceship. Maybe
I
it's
think that
I don't
was a
know.
bit of a storytelling in that theme of the how beats of maybe the movie and how it's going to be, and then towards the end it ramped up, but while trying to be still that retro 60s timeline
Yes.
in another Earth. Yeah,
Okay, solid. It's a Jetsons vibe. I agree.
yeah.
I agree. So look,
There's something.
less whether you like it or not, we'll see if it fits in the movie. The bigger point is this, and ask yourself this: why now? Why promote this now for a movie that doesn't come out for a year? I feel like they need a comeback.
Mhm.
And I don't think that the new Captain America and Thunderbolts is I think they're going to I think they are going to disappoint. And the best next thing they have coming is this. Plus,
what
you've got
about Agatha? Yeah, and Ironheart. Aren't those going to be bangers?
Those are gonna tank.
Yeah, you know what it is. They're going to try and skate quickly over thin ice. They've spent so much money reshooting Captain America that even if it's true, the last thing we heard that it's just a sort of a generic action movie at this point, that ain't enough. That ain't enough. And then Thunderbolts, Florence Pugh as the leader, and still Taskmaster is not. What are we doing? The villain from Ant-Man 2 that no one remembers, Ghost or
yeah. It's I think the next year of Marvel is not good, so they want to tease you with something that they have. What I'm saying is, it tells me they have confidence in this, and they want to push this, and the other things they'll put out, but we'll see.
Yeah, it seems this is definitely a pay no attention to what's going on over here. Let's just get it out because we can't cancel some of it. Yeah, that's crazy. Ironheart's the one I can't wait to see how they swing that one in their marketing. And
let's go to super chats here.
Oh, Dan Hugh for 742. Sorry, Chris. I know you dislike the birth month thing, but I couldn't resist. He loves it.
Well, thank you, Sean, who for
Crap Web for 2. For fuck's sake, hashtag cancel Disney Plus. There you go. You have to sing it. It's mad if you don't. The Nerd Far Away sounds like a Burton film.
I don't think that's not a bad thing.
Danny Elfman had great music. I would have loved if they had gotten Danny Elfman. That better be Galactus.
We'll see.
Drake Timbershaft for 5. I always thought the F4 would have a more upbeat theme, but leave it to Kevin Feige to pick the wrong composer to write a shit score.
Look, it's one track. I don't think we can really judge. And what I'm saying is I like what I hear. So
that central theme that we sort of got at the end, if they ramped that up, I liked that. Someone said I want the metal version, and I agree. English Batchers for 13 months. Happy birth year to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And there you go. Now it's time to pivot.
Pivot
to
you did this. Every time someone says pivot, I think of you in that damn Friends clip, and I can't get it out of my brain.
Let's talk about this.
Pivot. Oh no.
The Acolyte producers' next project.
It's not James Bond, is it? I thought it was a dirty rumor.
There is a rumor it is James Bond. She talked about it. And I'm going to share this. So someone sent me this, several people sent me this article about Leslie Headland. It's from Screencraft, from the podcast Script Apart. This is a podcast for screenwriters. It's very inside baseball about screenwriting. And
because Leslie she would be the one you'd go to for that, right?
Well, she was a guest. She talked about, writing a first draft and what she's doing. They did a podcast. And there's a quote at the very end of the podcast. And I'll bring it up from my Spotify account. I had to track it down. It's the last 2 minutes of the podcast. She talks about her white whale, what her next project is. Okay.
As long as it's not Knights of the Old Republic 2 that she mentioned before.
Well, here, let's listen to this and we'll talk about it on the back end. Okay. But it's a 2-minute clip.
So that feels, not only unlikely, but that it's a little bit anyways. The market has been saturated. I have a Harley Quinn tattoo with Faye Valentine.
Wow.
Yeah, there's that Harley Quinn, and that's Faye Valentine from Cowboy Bebop. I've been doing too many interviews. Faye Valentine from Cowboy Bebop, and they're just, about to make out with each other. But Bond, baby, that would be. Oh, I feel like I feel like I was fulfilling like, my grandmother's like wish, for me if I was able to do Bond. Dear God, oof.
Well, that's
Oof.
the franchise in transition at the minute. Get your pitch for Barbara Broccoli the way you did for
Yeah,
Kathleen
call
Kennedy.
call me, like.
I'd love to see it happen. Leslie, this conversation today has been a total pleasure. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for this awesome entry into the Star Wars universe. I had such a blast with this show.
Oh, thank you so much. I had a blast making it. I'm so proud of it. I think it achieves everything that I set out to achieve, and getting the chance to talk about it with people and very intelligent people like yourself is a real pleasure. So thank you for having me.
Oh, sorry,
She
Chris, you're muted.
wants
Sorry,
to do James Bond.
Please no.
Will they take her up on it?
Did Jenna Ortega just came out saying she didn't want like Jamie Bond or something like that? She wanted their own. And Daniel Craig, to his credit, came out when it wasn't popular and said something similar. Why would you make them that? Why don't you just give them their own series? Will they listen to her? I don't know. Is Kathy going to come back and give her that second season out of nowhere, use her superpowers? Probably not, right? Because she's just waiting to retire when she gets a hit, which means Leslie's probably gone. But who the hell would give her anything after the performance of this, where even if they didn't want to cancel it, they had to?
People in Hollywood tend to fail upward.
That is true.
Don't look at the failure of the Acolyte as she's never going to work again. She put together that show, good or bad. It finished. It was released. She is a known person. So what would a Leslie Headland James Bond look like?
I think probably like Amanda Stenberg. The only reason I had any hope is because as we've seen, the timeline is correcting a little bit. We've had some significant wins on all of the different fronts from video games. So it's like, 2 years ago, I think she would have gotten season 2 of The Acolyte, let alone failed upward and laterally. But now do you think she would even attempt? Because she said something about her grandmother. Did her grandmother have a hard on for Sean Connery? Would she dare to give us an actual?
Would she make James Bond gay?
No, but
and
100%
what would a gay James Bond be?
Daniel Craig. Unironically, it would be Daniel Craig, and instead of the insinuation, he would do what he does to women to get the job done, which is fine because another character, a spy, probably would have to do some things. The whole, you do what you got to do to get the job done. That's not Bond. That's not Bond. Let's just go back and make a 50s Bond, and I don't think she'd do that. And all the fun male pale stale heterosexual normativity.
I think, you do a period piece James Bond in the 60s during Cold War.
Yes.
And make it brutal. He's a womanizer.
Mm-hmm.
He's, just
and that
go
could
back
be commented
to old
on. That could be commented on. There was no illusion that Sean Connery or the other James Bonds weren't dicks to women, but it was also explained that, much like Batman sleeping around, they live a hard life. They need comfort. And oftentimes it's also part of the job. So why not enjoy it? Yeah, but no, I don't think she would do anything close to that.
Some of the time, women took advantage of him.
Yes.
James Bond.
Yes.
People forget that.
Yeah. It terrifies me anytime anyone mentions any product I love. And that's all they do. All the franchises, the games, they have nothing new. Everything is a sequel or a reboot or a requel where they sort of pretend some of the movies and then start off again and ignore some. Everyone's done it.
So you're a fly on the wall during the meeting. Leslie Headland is pitching James Bond.
So I have this job about a sister. 2 sisters. One of them is taken into the program and one of them is inspector. And Jamie Bond and her twin sister Blofeld will have parallel tracks, and it's about oppression and dynamics and power dynamics. And there's no good or evil in the world. Something like that. I think maybe some chanting about the power of one and two and many. I think that would be right in line with what she's capable of doing. What about you, Chris? Do you think Amanda Stenberg and Manny Jacinto would suddenly be playing characters in her Bond movie?
Well, if she made a Bond movie, she would just hire all her friends.
Right.
Like, so if you
Her wife would make a good
recast
Blofeld.
everyone from Acolyte into James Bond, you have Manny Jacinto playing James Bond. He is a gay James Bond. Okay, right?
I'll buy it. He was the best part of Acolyte, oddly enough.
Amandla will be the girl who gets shunned because he's gay. He's not going to be with Amandla.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Leslie Headland's wife plays M.
Oh, see, I wanted her as Blofeld, but you're right. She's already had the head shaved.
Oh, that's better. You're right.
Just
It would be better.
Mr. Bigglesworth, or whatever the cat was named in that one.
And Master Soul plays the head of a rogue nation.
He could play Dr. No.
He's the heavy.
He's the heavy. What's the one that he threw his hat at Bond? Yeah, sorry, I'm gonna get canceled.
Right.
Yeah. I know. There's a whole.
I guarantee that meeting will happen. But
here's the question: do they have to take meetings with her now? Does she have any clout?
No, I mean the whole thing is to get a meeting, tell them you're serious enough that you have a take on it. So, all right, I take a quick break. Can you read the chat and I'll be right back?
100%. 100%. I see you guys, Yord Horde and Mog. I know. All right, let's just be honest. Henry Cavill James Bond or some unknown Brit James Bond period piece or early 90s, like post Cold War or during Cold War. Just get back to it. Dr. Ing as Dr. No. Yes, I am fine with that. Must have hands. Soul pronounced soul. I know. Oh, Shah. It's okay. That was the best part about Acolyte was at the end, they had the balls to be like, yeah, he condoned her murdering of him by saying, oh, Shah, it's okay. And like didn't even give her the satisfaction of a good death. And then they called it the benign sexism of patriarchy. It was fun. You wouldn't have seen that coming. Henry Cavill, Michael Fassbender. Yeah. And who cares about them getting older, right? Remember when that was a thing? And now we might get Josh Brolin, Hal Jordan, and Nathan Fillion. So apparently age doesn't matter anymore when it comes to your heroes. Theo Vaughn, co-signed. Thank you, Lori. You should be on camera all the time. Theo James for Bond, 100%. If you have not watched The Gentleman, 10 out of 10 series, not a wasted bit on screen, and Theo James plays it to perfection.
Do we get to all these?
I can't highlight.
Shit!
I was literally just talking to the
Lori
chat.
could have done that for you. All right, let me just.
She was too busy suggesting Theo James as James Bond, which I agree. He'd be great. The guy from The Gentleman. Drake Timbershaft for 5. Now pay attention, 007. This gadget. No, it's not a wine cork opener. It's a sex toy either. It's not a sex toy either. Sorry.
Thanks, Drake.
Everything's a sex toy if you have imagination. FPS Sony. Jamie Bond. Ha 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 ha. That is what Jenna Ortega said, that she did not want to be Jamie Bond. Win some hacks. No one is letting her near it. I hope. Dramask, what would a gay, black, disabled female James Bond be? Yolanda Bond.
By the way, I would watch that movie.
Me too. And Moses Ingram would play it to perfection. Curtis D of Montana for 10. Hi, Chris. Hi, Badger. Is it okay if I ask you how your recovery from your stroke is going? Are there things that give you trouble? I understand what a life-altering trauma is like. My pick is x-rays of me, and that looks like your neck being broken there, buddy. So, yeah.
Holy shit. I'll just say this. The only thing I still have trouble with is speech when I'm tired or in the morning. I struggle. It's not that bad. I mean, you've heard me. I'm a little maybe slower or hesitant. Certain words give me trouble, but it took me like a month to kind of get going, and I completely changed my diet. So I don't eat sugar. I avoid carbs. I do fresh food, no, nothing in a box, nothing in a can. So I shop 3 times a week at the grocery store.
It's a pain in the ass, isn't it? And it's expensive, but it's so much better for you.
It's so much better. So veggies, berries for fruit, and then steak, chicken, pork chops. I eat that. And then I eat a lot of sushi. I love sushi. But I also walk 5 miles a day in the morning. Because of that, it's like getting me, I feel like it's going to take me a little longer, but I feel more healthy now than before. So
that's crazy, but I understand.
Yeah, I have never prioritized my health in my life. And I finally was forced to do so, and I feel great.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thank you, Curtis, and good luck on your recovery. Please come back and talk to us. So let us know what's up with you. Thank you for the 10.
Yeah, and to those that just got here, Alan, his wife just had surgery. Everything went great, and so that's why I am just for today filling in for him. But he'll be back. Don't worry. English Batchers again gifted 5 Film Threat membership. Shout out English Batchers.
Check out that Transformers 1 Q&A. It's amazing.
Curtis D of Montana for 2. Thank you for sharing.
Oh,
I did
wow.
break my neck. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I do believe they call that an internal decapitation, like where it's still connected, but inside it's separated. That's super dangerous.
Oh my God.
Obviously.
So yes, let us know.
David Smart for 5. Hi, Chris. Hope you had a good birthday, and I hope you do tomorrow. Yes. I'm at the gym now. I'm in God mode. So what movies are left for 2024 after Beetlejuice? Good question. What the hell do we got left?
Joker. And there will be some small indie movies we don't know about that will bubble up to the surface. I will say I saw a new trailer for Gladiator 2.
Oh. I feel like if you've seen the trailer, you've seen the movie. They're going to do the first movie with everyone playing. Denzel Washington is Proximo. Pedro is if Maximus had taken the deal in the beginning.
Yeah.
Evil. And it's a superhero movie, including him putting on the superhero armor at the end of Maximus.
I'm kind of thinking it'll be fun. It won't be good. But it'll be fun.
Might be fun. Yeah.
But yeah, after Beetlejuice, Joker 2.
Oh, Nosferatu, Megalopolis. Yeah.
Yeah, Megalopolis, that's this month. Yeah. So it's thin. This year is thin.
By design, though, right? Didn't they do that to themselves with all the striking and the contracting? And now it's good luck. Stay alive till 2025 or.
Well, you've seen the 2025 slate, have you not?
Not great. Not great. Yeah.
It's not great. It's not great. But there you go.
Good, yeah. But that's what they're limping towards. So okay. I think it really seems like stay around till 2026, really 2030 plus is where all the good shit's coming out. That's where all the resetting of everything happens.
I have something special for you. Because I know you haven't seen this. More videos to watch.
Yay.
Have you heard of this series of videos? I just have to show it to you.
I'll start guessing if you want. What if the sequel trilogy was good? No. Oh, okay. Oh.
For the gators rest, on engines to
Oh my God.
Then rolled up slow in his beat up ride, pulled out a saber from the passenger side. Handed it to Luke with the tip of his hat. Time to rise up, boy, no looking back. Here in the bayou, the family's a twist. Vader's your daddy and your sister you've kissed. Luke's dodging gators with Yoda's advice, sipping moonshine under swampy skies. Deep in the night with the gator song, Luke's rising up where he belongs. Yoda's in the backwoods whispering slow, teaching Luke the ways that only swamp folk know. Leia's calling shots, Han's quick with a grin. Jabba's got his eyes on the mess they're in. Luke's learning fast in the swampy night. With his saber drawn, he's ready to fight. Here in the bayou, the family's a twist. Vader's your daddy and your sister you've kissed. Luke's dodging gators with Yoda's advice, sipping moonshine under swampy skies. Deep in the night with the gator song, Luke's rising up where he belongs.
It goes on and repeats the chorus there, but
I feel like that's a Jeff.
This okay. I thought this was amazing. And then I saw another one, which I'll share with you. These
videos are the Jeff Goldblum. These videos are the Jeff Goldblum from Jurassic Park of so quick to think whether or not you could. You just have to think whether or not you should.
That's exactly right. Okay, well, look at this.
Oh, no.
Deep in the swamps where the air runs tight, Walt's in his trailer brewing crystal all night. Jesse's by the pots, nerves running thin, cooking in the backwoods, caught up in sin. Hank's rolling by, eyes sharp as a blade, looking for the poison in the swamp they made. Swamp fires glowing as the reaper waits, Walt's mixing blue at the devil's gates.
Bro.
In the swamp's thick mist where shadows dance, Jesse's working late on a second chance. The swamp hums deep like a mournful song, brewing up danger where they don't belong. Skylar stashing bills in an old beer can, hiding all the green like a good old plan. While Junior's down in cornbread syrup on his chin, trying to figure out the mess they're in. Saul's making deals in a camo suit, talking big game from his swampy loot. Swamp fires glowing as the reaper waits, Walt's mixing blue at the devil's gates. In the
unironically slaps. Walt's making at the devil's gate. Yeah, no, that's great.
Now the Breaking Bad one makes even more sense.
That makes more sense. Yes,
it does make more sense.
Someone said you do realize the music and sound is AI too. Yes.
Yeah, that's the thing. The music and the this is how good it is now. It's
I for one welcome our new machine overlords. Just let it happen. Just let the singularity take us. We'll enjoy the ride.
How soon until you can make like a whole TV episode or something?
This is sort of what Star Wars Theory has had to resort to for doing Star Wars content of like the movies and shit we're never going to get. So, okay, then we'll just do it with AI art and video. And yeah, because there's no other way to do it. And how soon? Probably shockingly close, because you know how it like just doubles and doubles and doubles and doubles. So within 2 years for sure. And that's probably too long. Yeah, it'll look, because even this doesn't look so ridiculous. It's just a couple months ago. Where each picture is constantly moving and you can super tell. This is a little bit more consistent. Well,
I like these. We've shown them before, the different like trailers, like the 50s Panavision. I love them. I love them, man.
I think they're just tools.
I watch them all. I mean, there's a sameness after a while, but I would watch those movies as a whole movie. All right,
I know. I would say Robert Murray Burnett gets scared by this stuff, but I think it's just another tool. You'll never replace the human hand and mind and touch. No.
And even like I can't make one of these.
Right.
I can't. But I'm going to show you this last one because it ties into our next topic. Cool. So let me present. There's one more to show. It's only 2 minutes. And we'll watch this and then go to comments. So here we go. This is my favorite one.
It's fitting.
Got away the trailer, standing mine, frozen in the mud, drinking homemade shine. Bill was on the porch telling tales all day long. Everything was quiet till the rain came along. Kendall rode up on his mule named Joe, said that brings trouble, we gotta hit the road. Leave the swamp behind and the mountains ahead. We're just good old boys doing what Gandalf said. Frodo's carrying the ring and it's dragging slow, but we're marching through the mud with a steady flow. Aragorn's a tracker hunting coons at night. Gimli swinging axes, but his aim ain't right. Legolas is prepping, shooting bugs off logs. Harlan's painting toenails, yelling at the dogs. Saruman's a neighbor's always causing grief, scheming in his tower like a backwoods thief. With the swamp behind and the mountains ahead, we're just good old boys doing what Gandalf said. Frodo's carrying the ring and it's dragging slow, but we're marching through the mud with a steady flow. Frodo's feeling rough, that ring's getting mean. Sam's frying up catfish, keeping Frodo lean. Boromir's all tangled, lost in the dark. Galadriel's telling fortunes in the back of her yard. Gollum's that we're cousin we don't bring to town, but he's family, so we keep him around. With the swamp behind and the mountains ahead, we're just good old boys doing what Gandalf said. Frodo's carrying the ring and it's dragging slow, but we're marching through the mud with a steady flow.
Wow. Yeah, today we learned that Hugo Weaving, if he got jacked, would look like Trevor, would look like Stephen Hogg from GTA.
I love it. I mean, I think they're entertaining as hell, but man, it's good.
That's funny.
It's the likenesses, and it's clever. You know, you can't just tell AI do a thing. You have
to be
to
super descriptive.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not something anyone can do yet. Let's go to comments here from the top.
From the top. Helos ending for 2. I feel the Minecraft trailer is missing Dwayne J. It does seem like something he would have been cast in, yeah.
It looks god awful. It
Looks
is
soulless.
Borderlands for when's it coming out?
I didn't see that. I didn't see the date,
release.
and I got copyrighted, of course, because of Warner Brothers. But
Yeah, we're not gonna play it. It's bad.
It's nothing. There's nothing there. There really is nothing there to even really make fun of beyond that. It's just empty. Yeah, needed Dwayne, which I believe the Jumanji movies are still like The Rock's highest grossing movies.
Is that true?
I think it's something
That
funny
makes
like
sense.
that. Yeah, it's something funny like that. Curtis D of Montana for 10. 2 years ago, 100 pounds of concrete form fell off a tall wall and hit me in the head. Severe head trauma, broken neck and back. I've had to have 9-hour surgeries to repair the damage in my neck. 2 years surviving. That's crazy, dude.
That's an incredible story, Curtis. I hope you're okay or on the road to full recovery. That's horrifying.
Human body. Crazy how weak and how strong we are at the same time.
it's
Just
weird.
meat puppets, but super fucking strong. Look at that.
And in my recovery, my body is like an experiment. I'm like, let me see if I can eat this. Nope, can't eat that. Or I'll eat more of this. Oh, that was good. Like or what exercises are good for me, you know?
Yeah.
So I prefer to walk and not run.
Yeah, it's because running's horrible on your knees anyway, especially if you're not used to doing it.
I know.
Yeah,
And I've had to I'm buying like all this athletic wear. I'm like a different person.
You just want to work out for everyone. Do it now. If you don't want to turn into an old person all hunched over that you lose, is like, like that. You just got to keep your skeleton, keep a heavy load, giggity. Just lift enough so your body has to work a little bit.
And not only that, I have a standing desk where I work at.
There you go.
Where I just stand and work the whole time.
Cool.
So, man, I hope you're going to be up and about soon. Man.
Shout out Curtis. Darth Racer 777 for 5. Check out Abandoned Films. I'm not sure if you mean the Similarion or the Simalian or whatever how you said it, the AI trailer, the Simalian AI trailer. It features Henry Cavill. It looks fantastic. All right, probably not the Similarion.
I subscribe to that channel. I haven't seen that one, but I keep track of all this stuff. It's great. Thanks to Darth Vader.
Curtis D. Montana for 5. Evan T. Gary, all of Geeks and Gamers, The Fellowship, John Talks, Nina Infinity, all the Fellowship helped more than words can say to get through this. Stay strong, Chris.
Well, thank you very much. They are under attack as we speak. If you've seen, I want to wait to comment on it, but you saw what's happening, right?
Yeah. Everyone's correcting Silmarillion. I don't, unless he misspelled it, he's talking about a different movie. I knew it was a Silmarillion, guys, I swear. Yeah, and yeah, their attack of, which by the way, does not the attack against them all violate the terms of services of sending people to attack other channels? I don't get how they're getting away with it.
The arrogance that other people think you can shut people down. Look, there are other YouTube channels, YouTubers I watch, I don't like. I just don't do anything. I think they have a right.
That's how that
YouTubers
works.
I don't like. Look, Grace Randolph, I like to check in. I like to check in and see what she says. She has a very normie perspective. The thought would never cross my mind ever to shut her down and take away her platform or voice.
What were we
Doesn't
doing without
even
her?
occur to me.
Yeah, you can give me good clips we've gotten.
Well, no, I don't mean that. I mean,
Chris, this is that Star Wars shit of like, there's no place. Star Wars is for everyone, but there's no place in Star Wars for the bigots and the bullies. And then the fun part is that they get to decide who the bigots and the bullies are.
Yeah, exactly. Like, who are you to decide who the bullies are? It's horrifying. So let's get through some more comments. We have special guests joining us.
Jason D. God, I hate and love AI. Yeah, I'm right there with you.
I feel the same.
HP Nubcraft, Yoda Billy Forever. Yoda looked like he had seen some stuff.
It was great.
He'd seen some things. Patrick Lemire, where is Dollar General Grievous? Yeah. Razorburn Badger, as a former chef, what were your favorite dishes you enjoy cooking up for friends and family? I always used to ask that. I never really had any personal favorites because it was more about the techniques that you would be doing and all that. And then at the end, I was mostly directing. But I always liked just grilling. I like grilling meats and stuff like that. Too. Yeah, just good old fashioned. Yeah, I think if I ever did a restaurant, it was going to be like modern comfort food, basically. All that fancy shit. You're full, but with some fun techniques. But yeah, no, instead we just talk about pop culture.
I would be a customer.
Cool. So, have you? Maybe that's my backup plan. Like Gary has the comic shop. You just keep doing Film Threat forever. I'll make a restaurant and lose money in that.
It's time. It's time we discuss The Rings of Power Season 2. I watched the first episode last night.
Oh, how are you feeling?
Okay. I kept falling asleep. I am not invested in these characters. I don't know exactly what their goals are. I feel like some of them are very gray in terms of what their motivations are. I don't understand how someone who's and to be clear, I'm a normie. I saw all the Lord of the Rings movies, loved them.
Extended edition, of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love them all. I saw everyone in the theater opening weekend. I was there for it as a normie. So when normies and hardcore fans love a thing, they've done something right. This is off the rails in a way that not only do hardcore fans not like it, but normies are not gripped. I think part of it is when I fell asleep, it's the music. There's not a theme to drive you through. It's this ethereal music.
And it's Bear McCreary. His Battlestar Galactica music.
By the way.
Me too. That's why it's like, what are you not inspired? Like, do you know what I'm saying? Is this maybe just a paycheck for him? Real quick, Nemo Rafsky asked me about the bear, what I think of it. It's so accurate that I don't watch it because it gives me PTSD. It's about a dude, so that's how accurate and good it is. I'm a normie too, then, Chris. I've not read the books, but I've watched all the movies, extended cut, a billion times. I've played the Shadows of Mordor and War of Mordor games, and I've listened to Gary and Disbrew and Mahler and all these people talk about it for a long time. The point of this seems to be the point of the Acolyte and all of the modern things that they do. There's no good and evil. It's all about power dynamics. Sauron is actually the good guy because he's trying to change power dynamics and he's trying to unite everyone. Never mind how he's trying to unite them. But yeah, it's just that. It's a shipping of Galadriel and Sauron and them actually... Everyone got a plot point and a reason to do something that they did in the past when they didn't need extra reasons to do what they did, i.e. using the rings to bring back the light of the elves. And it's just a painful experience.
Well, can you name for me, this is a question, name for me a shipping story that was a successful movie? For the chat too.
Shipping between two characters?
Yes. I
mean, I'm not sure if this is one of those trap things, but like Guardians of the Galaxy, I sort of shipped Gamora and Star-Lord the whole time, but that's successful. But that's obviously bigger than that. But things that are just about... No, I think I would liken this more to the OSHA and Chimere shipping. That like you can't... That can't be a main plot point of your big sweeping arc. Really, it just seems that the main point of this is that Sauron is the good guy. You're literally rooting. 3 episodes in, I want Sauron to win. Unironically.
I mean, we know in the end he does not.
Right.
But is that where this is going?
You mean these are supposed to line up with those movies we were talking about? It's just they're so completely different.
It's not going to
laughable
at all.
Yeah. It's just laughable. I have to completely disassociate and look at this as like an alternate timeline. Just like we look at a Star Trek or a Star Wars, or it's just, I don't know what it is, but it's not what they think it is.
Yeah, I am checked out. I'm not sure if I will finish it. We will check in and at least do the finale, which is in like a month, actually.
Oh, you're gonna miss Disa. There's a collapse and like the light inside goes out, so they can't see in Disa. They sing. They do this very poetic. They all got, to credit, the female dwarves do have side chops now, so they're approaching beards. No, it's painful though. It's real painful. And when you think about how much money this cost, how do they tank
the
these
idea
hits?
of like, did you ever play the old LucasArts games, X-Wing?
Yes,
and TIE
all
Fighter
those, and Jedi Outcast, all those old school ones.
The cool thing with TIE Fighter is it was all of the classic battles from Star Wars, from the POV of the Empire.
Yes.
And you could replay those battles with a different result. So I thought TIE Fighter was amazing. You can even watch the cinematics are posted on YouTube.
All those games, it wasn't... Because even the Lord of the Rings games that we all mentioned from that Gary, the known gamer, actually used to play them. He bought a place to play because that's how good they were, right? It's not about key jangling or member berries. It was about capturing the feeling and moment of those things and letting you be in it. That's why everyone liked Shadows of the Empire. And as you mentioned, X-Wing and TIE Fighter or Jedi Outcast, Kyle Katarn, because we felt like, oh my God, I'm in a lightsaber fight. If you can capture that, and they don't know how to capture that because they've never felt it. That's what we got to remember. All these people that make these things, they don't feel all those love and connection to the characters and moments like we do. They think maybe they do, but it shows when they try to translate what they think is the key moment or thing.
They're just checking boxes. I even, looking back, I question how much JJ really understood about Star Wars.
None. Have you heard him talk? He likes he doesn't like the prequels. He doesn't like Return of the Jedi. He likes Empire Strikes Back and he only likes Empire Strikes Back and the last part of Return of the Jedi. So he likes like 1.4 Star Wars movies, and they gave him the whole goddamn franchise. And then the biggest sin is I don't understand how Kathy was allowed. I get it that she's not the demon we think. She maybe hires the wrong people, but how could she not set up Mark, Carrie, and Harrison in a scene together? I just don't get it.
Comes back to that.
Because it's the biggest sin of all of it. How did you not put them in a scene together?
Biggest crimes in cinema history.
Yes.
She had the opportunity to do that and did not.
It's what makes me think the timeline is wrong. Like when we go back, Gary blames everything for CERN. Right. It just feels like that shouldn't be the timeline we're in, where we got that and they weren't together again. Just, I don't know. Makes me want to wake up from the Matrix. That particular, it's so egregious of a decision.
Well, let's go to comments, and then I'm going to reveal to you the real reason Rings of Power sucks.
Yeah. It's all the same.
Yeah.
Lod689, shout out, bro. Came a member. Good to see you,
Thank
Lod.
you.
President Jafar. Modern filmmakers try to humanize villains too much. Yes, but since they don't know what good and evil is themselves, they end up making the villains the good guys and the good people the bad guys. We're also seeing this with like the Dustborn video game where like bullying, cancel culture, and triggering are superpowers. Yeah, it's complete. I don't know what's going on in there, but it's not the reality we're all in.
It's if you don't have a core like moral center, I don't think you can comment on these stories.
Yeah, and they don't have a moral center. That's the problem. J-Ham, Stoneface, the first season felt like movie version of POV collection of various RPG players in a bad game, not investing time for second season. Yeah, so in the second season, all those losers got better costumes, but it's still bad. They still don't know how to act, or everyone tries to, no, I beat you. English Bachelors, Aliens, Hicks, Ripley, I wanted them to shag, to be honest. Yeah. Rafael Lopez or Lopes, Redneck, Lord of the Rings is more entertaining than Rings of Power, which is also
That's
sort of
my
rednecky.
point. That's why I wanted to show it.
Immortal Remus for 199. I got insomnia. Could Rings of Power be my remedy? Yes. Yes, it could.
It was 11 o'clock last night. I usually go to bed between 11 and midnight. I put it on. I'm like, I'll watch one episode before I go to bed. I was out in 20 minutes. And woke up, tried to watch more. It was awful.
The dialogue is if high school kids saw the movies and then you just try to catch the feeling and like one word from every sentence anyone ever said, and then you just say it in that and that. And it didn't really matter if it fit the tone. It sort of sounded like someone said something once upon a time in the movies like that. It's just not good. Curtis D of Montana for 2. Now Duran is hard for his father. What the fuck? Inappropriate. Honestly, I don't know, but that joke, that was the one good scene, was the father and son scene where he had to go and sort of like do a little apology, a father and son moment, but not enough to justify watching it. Not enough to and that poor guy that plays Duran has to sit there while the Disa actress does her fucking so important for a black actress. And he just has to sit there and not say anything because he'll be fired. Poor guy.
It's time for a rant. I'm going to tell you the real reason the Rings of Power sucks. Because we can sit here all day and parse the story and the canon. We can sit there and nitpick. This happened in the books. This happened in the TV show, blah, blah, blah. You can go through Marvel movies and you can talk about, well, in the comics, this happened. In the movies, this happened. Here is the real reason it sucks. The characters are not authentic. They are not authentic to the source material. You can go off script you can break canon. You can, not worry so much about all the nitpicky details. If the characters don't feel like they are and stay true to themselves. This is the big complaint about Luke in The Last Jedi, right? So here's the thing. You can break all that stuff. You can change things up. But if the character is not true, it rings hollow. This is why the Marvel movies, for the most part, are successful, because what they get right, what the Marvel movies get right, is character. The characters are true. Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, if he started not acting like that, would be awful. So it's all about authentically being true to that character. They like Spock would never do that. Han Solo would never do that. Kirk would never do that. Luke would never do that. Galadriel would never do that. Gandalf would never do that. That's why Rings of Power suck so bad, is the characters are not acting in a way that's authentic to them. And also it's so poorly written with inexperienced producers is my thought there. So That's why the Marvel movies, they break so many different things from the source material, but it doesn't matter because those characters feel like they are from what you've read, right? Even Gary from Nerdrotic admitted that Deadpool is better in the movies than the comics.
Oh,
I don't know.
yeah.
What are your thoughts, Badger, on that?
About Deadpool. No, I know what you're saying about all this, but I will. It's all about character, right? And the more someone like obviously Ryan Reynolds gets that character, he's been trying to do it for years. The big thing, and I always go back to Henry Cavill in The Witcher when they wanted him to do a scene basically mocking the death of his horse. And even though Geralt, the character, has many horses, he calls them all roach, he treats them all with love and respect. And Henry was like, no, the character wouldn't do that. And then they had him write his own scene. It was one of the best things. And it's the point is that the people that actually love this know these characters. Even if it's a fantasy, we know these characters. So when Luke Skywalker goes off and drinks green tip milks and lets the galaxy fall into darkness, or any of these things, when Galadriel gets the hots for Sauron when she should be married, we call it. Says R&B says it breaks verisimilitude, not just of the world, but of the characters, and it's the quickest way for everything to just. Picard, season 3. Look at the difference between season 1 and 2 and Picard season 3. All of a sudden, they look and act and sound like the characters because Terry Matalas understood the characters.
Let's go to comments, and then we have special guest joining us in about 5 minutes. Let's go to the comments here.
Lou Cyphers, Elrond was the only sensible person in what I watched. The others are semi or full-blown idiots.
Correct.
Yes.
IDOT.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, I forgot. IDOTs is the new lore. Yes. Shout out to Geeks and Gamers in the 199.
Yeah.
We'll make sure that IDOT gets funded. Lod for 689. Yeah, they no longer represent themselves as they were established. Yep. Albert Not a Retro for 5. Haters don't feel pity or remorse or fear, and they will not stop ever until the franchises you love are dead.
That's pretty accurate, I would say.
Okay. Draconis adaptation 101. Stay true to the source material. Yeah,
and I will say, okay,
matters.
You're adapting a book. Okay, Dune, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in my mind, as I read it, the one thing Denis Villeneuve captured was the tone of the books. There's no way he could have taken the source material from the books and, cut it down to even get, it's a cliff notes of the books, but the books exist on their own and they'll always be there. They're not, they will always be there. When Denis Villeneuve was casting Dune, as soon as I heard a name, I knew exactly who they were playing. When they announced Jason Momoa, I'm like, oh, Duncan, Idaho, for sure. Timothy Chalamet, I think, was perfect casting because he is kind of a gangly, skinny kid. He's 15 in the book.
Yeah.
So they even, I really think the casting for Dune was great. And I say, as long as the characters are true to the source material, you can change some things. And for a lot of cases, you have to change things.
Yeah.
Because you don't have 25 hours to tell a story.
And it brought people in now reading the books, just like the Fallout show, whether you liked it or not. It got people playing the games. The opposite of what happened with Halo, where it actively pissed people off and like, that's what you guys like. So yeah, stay true to source material. You won't go wrong. The Nerd Far Away, Rings of Power will never be any good because they don't really have any rights to Tolkien's Legendarium, nor do they care to.
Yeah, it's sort of sad where it's at, but I think really you need more experienced people in there. That's the bottom line. So, all right. We have special guests today that are joining us to talk about their indie movie, which is opening in theaters, and I assume will be coming to VOD. The movie is Art Dealers, and we have the filmmakers here with us today. Let's talk to them. Hey, Roy
Hey, guys.
and Adam.
What's up, guys? Good to see you.
Good to see you. Good to meet you both. I saw you were patiently waiting in the wings for us to wrap up our Lord of the Rings conversation. So thank you for that. Art Dealers is an amazing documentary about a band that, my God, I'm a fan. Okay. I love music docs. Seeing this band and how they just change people. It reminds me of bands I saw in Michigan when I was a kid. Tell me how this whole, first of all, the band, this amazing band. Tell us about them, how they gained the fandom.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing this band now for 13 years, but I'm what you would call a cult band. You know what I mean? Like the people that know about me are obsessed, but nobody else knows about me. You know what I mean? And I wanted people to see a bit of the magic that happens when we're on stage, because it's very powerful. When we perform, people are screaming, they're laughing, they're weeping, they're flirting, they're taking their clothes off, they're dancing. The crazy things that happen when we're on stage, it's so cathartic. And during the pandemic, I said, God damn it, if we ever get back to doing this thing, we got to capture this, you know. And all credit to Roy, my co-filmmaker. He did an amazing job in capturing the spirit.
Yeah, it really is, like, it reminds me of bands I know, like when I lived in Detroit, there'd be a local band that's so huge that people just go ape. Like, for me, like, look, you're not playing stadiums, right? You're playing smaller shows, but I love a show where I can make eye contact with the musicians. There is a personal connection, and this documentary captures that experience.
Man, I love hearing that. I really do, because, you know, there are a lot of music films coming out these days. There's a lot of music docs, concert films, but generally they're all from the tippy top of the music business. You know, major artists, household name artists. And we are a little cult band. We're a grits and grime show that we put on, like you said, eyeball to eyeball in the clubs. And we wanted to show that part. We wanted to show what working bands, what that is like, and how just because it's not on the cover of a magazine or a household name doesn't mean it's not great, and doesn't mean that people aren't sincerely moved by these performances.
Roy, how did you meet Adam and get together and collaborate on this project?
Well, I've been a fan of Loca Connie for years. You know, I got into them probably 2016-ish, and we worked on a few music videos together. But I've been wanting to make a concert movie for years, and especially through the pandemic, I caught up on a lot of the best ones ever. So when Adam called me, you know, to move on from the music video spectrum onto concert movies, it was immediate yes, and I got right to work on that.
I think we should just give people a taste. Do you mind if we show the trailer?
Do it.
I got the trailer here. Here we go. It's under 2 minutes. Let's check this out.
I'm shy. I'm very square, very average person. But I do believe that average people are capable of great things.
Boys and girls, sit back and relax and let us be your art dealers for the evening. Me and the voice that calls you real.
I started this band when I was 31 years old, and I was already thinking I would never have a career. I look in the crowd, I look at the people at home, and I see stars, nothing but stars.
We made it to Broadway. Mama
going to be on the pop charts. I'm not going to have a hit. I know that. I'm not trying. I am very Jewy. I mean, look at me. Mentally, have my challenges. I'm built for it. It's not an easy life. It's not an easy way to live. There's no stability, but I'm going to keep doing it until I drop.
1, 2, 1, 2.
The vibe at the shows. I love when you interview fans that have never seen you or just like, oh, the lives are changed.
I mean, I try to give people a night they're never going to forget. You know what I mean? There's so much to be cynical about in this world. There's so much to be depressed about. If people are going to spend a few bucks and go see a live performance, I want them to be uplifted. I want them to leave feeling, better than when they arrived. I want them to go into a flow state where they forget to look at their phone, they forget what's going on in the world, they forget what's their homework that's due tomorrow, or what's going on at home, or the divorce they're going through, or the crazy shit. I want them to just be present for that 2 hours or whatever we got, and Roy was tasked with capturing that in the film, and how do you take something that you could sort of really only get that power of live performance when you're in that sweaty little club. And I said, we have to capture it on film. We have to make people feel that way when they watch this film. I don't care what we got to do. You figure out how many cameras, what's the lighting, what's the audio. I don't care. We just need to make people feel amazing when they're watching it. And he really pulled it off.
It really, what I appreciate about the doc is because I was not familiar with your band before this, Low Cut Connie, I didn't know. It just focused. There's interviews and commentary. It's all sprinkled through performances. It really is focused on performances. You get a sense of you, Adam, and the band and the vibe at the show, but it is bracketed by it's like an ultimate playlist, but also with info about the band sprinkled between. We have 2,000 people watching us live, and we have a lot of questions and comments from people watching. I want to go to those, but Roy, like that approach, I appreciate, because I haven't had an experience like with a band like that in a long time. And to be honest, most of modern music, I just don't really care. It seems computer done,
Yeah, I mean, we wanted to keep the whole thing really entertaining. So you keep you grab people's attention to the music for a bit, and when it's time to switch to something else, we'll give a quick funny interview or a quick behind the scenes clip, and then right back to the music. So, some concert films are fully music, some are leaning more toward documentary. This, we really wanted to merge the two as much as possible while keeping it always entertaining.
Yeah, I really got the sense I get to know the band, the vibe, and the crowd, and the music is awesome. So let's go to comments here. Angry Badger, if you would read, we have comments and questions here from a bunch of people.
Patrick asks, indie on a Wednesday? Hell yeah! It's like a midweek Friday. Or he says, rather. Nerd Far Away, hail Roy and Adam. Do you think the same idea applies to local and community theater?
Yes, absolutely. And by the way, the Nerd Far Away, I come from an acting and performance background. So, yes, I was in South Pacific when I was in high school. You know what I mean? I was in Cats at the JCC Jewish Community Center production. It was spelled Katz. I was a little cat. There is nothing. I don't actually enjoy going to see Broadway. I like seeing local theater. It's more entertaining. It's just more entertaining. So absolutely. And I've seen some amazing local theater productions that moved me, that made me laugh, that were ridiculous. It's the same principle.
Razor Burn saying, I love small shows, especially during my punk rock days.
Hell yeah.
Sente Ranger Donnie, hashtag save the Power Rangers. I love a good concert movie. And then English Batchers, that made me smile, man. I'd see that. I know. Ron, where did the name come from?
Shit, man. Oh God. It's really not a great story, Ron. All I can say is I wasn't taking this very seriously. I didn't think that this would be a real band. You never think in a blink you're gonna pick a name and get stuck with it for 14 years. And so one guy in the band wanted to be called the Connies, and the other guy wanted to be called the Low Cut. I didn't like either name, but I only had 24 hours to pick something. We couldn't agree. I put them together. I said, I don't know what it means, but it sounds okay. And they said, well, you know what? What are we going to put on the cover? What is Low Cut Connie? It doesn't even mean anything. And so I said, you know what? There's a waitress at this diner in New Jersey where I live. Her name is Connie. I will draw a portrait of Connie, and that will be Low Cut Connie. And that's the whole shtick.
Red French Moon, my question. Would love to know if rock and music on stage in 2024 still carries the romanticism and wildness of rock like in the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
It can.
And how about the drugs on a scale of 1 to 10?
I mean, I wasn't alive. I wasn't alive back then, but you know, it is still reasonably debauched. If that's what you want to hear, it is still reasonably debauched. But you know, you bring up that word romanticism, and I do feel like that is something that has gone out of rock and roll over the years.
Being a rock star.
Yeah, and passion is something that really went out of fashion in rock and roll. You know, we've been through so many different phases of 60 plus years of rock and roll and different iterations, but heart on your sleeve, kind of passion, fist pumping, unapologetic passion in rock and roll has been not on trend. It's not in fashion, but there's still artists like me and many of my peers that carry the torch for that. It's sort of like, you know, we're so cynical in our society. Our music and the shows that we put on are not cynical. They're passionate. I want you to feel good. I want you to feel uplifted. I want you to feel sexy. And that's what we try to do.
I didn't get that sense from the doc that there was a dark underbelly to Low Cut Connie, or there wasn't any of that. And I think I almost feel that darkness has been romanticized in some sense, but you don't need it to have a fun musical experience.
There's just a lot of that about. And sometimes I want to hear sad music too. But for me, I grew up, I saw Iggy Pop on stage. You said you're from Michigan, so
Detroit area, yeah.
The king of Michigan rock and roll, Iggy Pop. I saw him on stage when I was like 21 or 22 years old, and it was like a transformative experience. I never saw somebody give so much to an audience and make the audience feel so equal to the performer, right? The first thing he did, he dove out in the audience, he pulled people on stage. Suddenly there's 200 people on the stage. And it was so magical. It was edgy, but it was positive, if you know what I mean. It was like, whoa, what's going to happen next? But it was like, you know, it was cathartic. And I have since sort of dedicated my working life to making people feel that way. Like, you don't know what's going to happen. It's wild, but in a positive way, not in a cynical way.
CD Stein, 69, member for 10 months. I put this on my watch list, or my to-watch list. The band sounds exactly what I came from in the late 80s, early 90s punk rock scene in St. Louis. Bands like The Urge.
Thank you for that. And also, final thing, English Batchers. How do we watch it, guys? It's in theaters this week. Is that right?
Yeah, it's throughout September. It's screening across the country, and me and Roy are actually going to be flying all over the country doing these events. But it premieres this Friday in New York City, at the Cinema Village. It'll be there all week. But we're going, just check your local listings. Check our website, lowcutconnie.com. Dark Star Pictures is the distributor, and we're all over the country. And then October 1st, baby, in your bedroom, in your home, video on demand. Art Dealers, October 1st.
I see a list on the website. Let me share this so everyone can see it. On your website, lowcutconnie.com. We'll put the link in the description. Portland, Maine, Boston, Massachusetts.
Go down to the next image. See, there's the trailer. There's the poster.
Nice.
And click right there. Art Dealers, screenings and tickets.
Here we go. Look at this. It's all, you have a link tree.
Look at this.
You have a link. I love Linktree. I'm serious. The Linktree has all the screenings and links to tickets for all of those. That's awesome. So go to lowcutconnie.com and go to the Linktree. I'll share the Linktree because it's so good. I argue with my co-host Alan about Linktree. I think it's a great marketing tool. Here you go.
There you go. Beautiful.
Yeah, so check out all these dates. Coming to Texas. It's awesome. Denver, Colorado, Austin. It's amazing. So lowcutconnie.com. Congratulations, guys, on this VOD in October. Love it. And I'm going to look up your music on, are you on Spotify?
Of course. We're everywhere you want me to, anywhere you want me to be. That's where I am. And I really enjoyed hanging with you guys. It's a great show. I'm a fan of you guys now. I'm going to be tuning in.
Awesome. Thank you.
I might look
Thank you,
different the
guys.
next time you watch, but thank you.
All right.
Yeah, we will be here. We
right,
we
guys.
love especially music docs. All right. Take care, Roy and Adam. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I cut him off before he finished. Thank you. But I heard the thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Any final comments?
No, that was great. Nice to see. Honestly, I sort of got the vibes of like what it looks like at a meetup.
Doc is so good. It's just song after song after song, little interview, funny interaction with fans, interview, music. It's pumping, and it's 80 minutes.
Well, just that description.
It's not a bloated documentary.
Well, that and the description of what it's like, of just because we're not on, papers and things like that doesn't mean we're not famous. Like, yeah, you ever seen the reaction that you or Gary or Critical Drinker get? Like, it's sort of there's these little pockets of creativity where the muse is summoned. This is clearly in the music department. It's nice that's going around, but I see very similar things going on here. It's nice. That's where the audience is now, where the authenticity is. And that clearly is Low Cut Connie.
Well, here's the deal. I want to thank you, Badger, for being on the show today.
Anytime.
I want to thank you. You never brought up my birthday once. People in the chat did. That's fine. I'll take it. So I want to thank all the birthday wishes from everyone, silent or spoken. I appreciate it. Badger is doing a stream in like...
Yeah, it's like 30 minutes, basically, 3:30
like
PST.
3:30.
Yeah.
At the So in 40 minutes, check that out. Link is in there, right? Atomic Lori. Want to thank Atomic Lori. Want to thank Glenn Nuccio. Want to thank Glenn Nuccio for, because there's more people here. Alan gave me a birthday wish.
Because it's your birthday today.
I like that Alan Alpha. That's Alan Alpha.
Great.
Gets the frosting in the face.
Yeah, shout out to Alan. Thank you for letting me
Yes.
fill in just for the day. And just thank you to the chat for being so welcoming. I know on Versus it can get a little crazy and all that, but
I love Versus. That's why I like it. I like chaos.
Well,
Hey,
it's
thank you, Aaron Sherman.
good to
Thank
see we're all growing on each
Thanks,
other.
Alan,
So
man.
yeah, shout out to
Appreciate you
chat.
all. Alan and I will be back Friday. Thanks, John Evan Bear. We'll be back Friday. We have a lot of movies to review, including Beetlejuice, other movies we missed. Reagan. I saw Reagan. I'll talk about that. So Friday is an all review day. Alan will be back. I'm happy to see he's
No.
Alan's looking, you
A little
know,
thin.
Well,
He was
sexy
worried.
in that.
Oh yeah.
There you go. Oh, one last thing. I'll show you this. There was a guy dressed as Kang with the Burger King mask on called the Burger
That's
King.
hilarious.
Burger King. Look
Yeah, I
at
wondered
my
what you were
personal-
holding up at the end of the nooner there. I thought he was like, he really likes Burger
says
King. I didn't
Burger
realize
King.
it said Kang. Yeah, that's great.
And even this is another thing not timed, but I invested in a Kickstarter years ago of a remake of The Brain That Wouldn't Die, and I got the Blu-ray. Thank you. I support indie films. I'm on Kickstarter. I invest. I give money to comics and indie movies. I got the Blu-ray. It arrived yesterday, just in time, and I'm excited. You know what else I got?
Do tell.
I
Show and tell.
got this as a bootleg here.
Oh no.
A
Cancel.
movie that the music holds up. I gotta say, the music holds up. It's Song of the South.
You should make a Disneyland ride about that.
Banned
That would be great.
Disney movie. So there you go. So thank you, everyone. Thank you to Lord Thoth and Atomic Lori. Thanks, Atomic. She never gets shouted out.
I try on Versus
there
at
you go.
least.
So thanks. Friday will be a fun show. Badger, you're back on Monday for Versus.
Yes, sir. Yes,
And
sir.
in about a half hour, you're going live.
Badgercast. Badgercast. Every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we do Badgercast at 3:00 most days. Monday, I normally do 3:30 because of Film Threat, just in case the super chats go long. But yeah, every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And if not there, I'm over there with Nerd Wars or Diabolical Souls Presents, Gooch. It's a great day of programming every day. Thank you, Chris. Dream come true.
Thank you. Just like straight, and we are going to Frankensons someday soon. We're going.
Don't tease me.
Well, I'm going to Rose Bowl this weekend. The Rose Bowl swap.
We'll get there.
I can walk there, but I will be at Frankensons.
Yes.
So,
all
yeah.
the action figures, not Star Wars sequel trilogy, will be bought. We'll buy the older stuff.
Okay. So Alan always ends the show. You know what he says? He says, by the way, this line.
I'm saying, do you want me to do
It is the most used line in movies. You can see montages of it. It's in screenplays all the time. You know what that line is?
What is the line?
I'll give you the first word. Let's.
I'm failing. Let's.
Wait, chat. Someone in the chat. Someone in the chat. Type it.
Let's get. Oh, yeah. Let's get.
Not yet. No. Okay. Wait.
I feel like you clip out before it gets to the end. All right.
Yeah. So you ready?
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Right. Let's get out of here.